predict at the moment, based on a consistency across polls and anecdotal experience, that the BJP Shiv Sena has a clear edge. I think Haryana, smaller state, Rahul, will see a constituency by constituency battle. I would still say that the BJP holds the edge in terms of certainly becoming, in my view, the single largest party. But whether it will throw up a hung assembly is the key. And if it does, I think it will suggest a dramatic shift. Don't forget, Rahul, the BJP won 58% of the vote and 79 out of the 90 Vidhan Sabha segments they led in Haryana. So any shift will suggest to me that a Lok Sabha poll and a Vidhan Sabha poll are two completely different ball games. That's why it's fascinating.
They absolutely are. If you see the mood amongst voters in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh and compare that with the mood amongst voters during the Lok Sabha elections, they were completely different. Except that the opposition didn't believe it. For the large part of the campaign in Maharashtra and Haryana, the opposition was certain that what happened in the Lok Sabha elections will get replicated, and that's the way they fought the election.
There is a difference, yeah, absolutely. The difference though is, remember Rahul, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh were before the Lok Sabha. Now these elections are after the Lok Sabha. You expect after you've been pummeled in a fight like the Lok Sabha, you're on the mat.
New match is a new match.
It is.
You lose, you wake up, you come back to the field.
It is.
And you play another day.
It is, but it's not going to be easy. Let's introduce our guests this morning. They've all come early morning. I want to introduce Javed Ansari, national senior editor, senior journalist, covered elections for several decades. He's up early in the morning. Good morning, Javed. We'll get
Even
you
before
coffee.
the sun has risen,
We'll
we are
get
up.
you. Yeah, the sun hasn't risen. We've risen. Rahul Srivastava, our national affairs editor, also covered elections for decades. Professor Sandeep Shastri has just brought out a book on Lal Bahadur Shastri, apart from anything else. No relative, I can assure you, between Sandeep Shastri and the former Prime Minister. And to get us a perspective from Maharashtra, an old friend and colleague, another senior journalist, Smriti Kopikar, who knows the state inside out, is also with us. Several others will join us. So Rahul, we've got up, I've never understood why is it that news channels wake up at 6 a.m. on election day?
It's
I
just
need a
to
good
ensure
explanation.
that everything's right and proper before the first ballot box is opened, before the first EVM machine is opened. We need to ensure all our reporters are on the ground, and it helps when you start early. That's why we are here, Raj. We're very excited about being here early in the morning.
Rahul, you used a term that the opposition didn't believe. Name me one journalist who believed that there could be a fight in Haryana. No journalist, no anchor, no editor, nobody believed.
Javed, it's not for the journalists
No,
fighting the government. It's the job of those who are fighting the government to be fighting the government. If they don't believe they can take on the government, why is it incumbent upon journalists to start believing that they can take on the government?
At least they were on the ground reporting. They should have. How could you?
Okay,
make somebody
let's go round the table and ask them whether this is a done deal. Smriti Kopikar, is Maharashtra a done deal?
Certainly, Maharashtra looks like a done deal. The things I'm watching for are what are the numbers, whether it's going to be 230, 240, which the BJP wants, which Mr. Fadnavis has been saying he will get, or more conservative like the ones you've put out, around 190.
That's right, because the BJP led in about 223 segments,
That's
Vidhan Sabha segment, BJP Shiv Sena in the Lok Sabha, so they will want to match that. Professor Shastri, done deal, or as Rahul suggests, this could go down to the wire in Haryana, or as the exit poll suggests, it could go down to the wire in Haryana?
I think done deal in Maharashtra. I think people are talking of a 200 plus for the alliance there. I think it's a question of how big is the victory and not whether it's a victory. In Haryana, I think I would take the opening statement you came up with. It could well throw a surprise. And if it does throw a surprise, not only does it indicate the difference in state and national elections, it also indicates possibly the unhappiness with the state government and, more importantly, the MLAs of the state. There is a lot of reporting that says that the local MLAs have not really done their job effectively. Right. And the state government has only recovered in the last 1.5 years. First 3.5 years, the record of the government was not something that they really would be proud of.
Highest unemployment rate in the country according to August 2019 figures. But there is another interesting factor, and Professor Suhas Palshikar, a political scientist who I regard very highly in Maharashtra, pointed out, if Haryana goes the way our exit poll suggests, it's probably the first election where election outcomes are reflecting a sense of economic distress on the ground.
No, but we'll talk about that later.
Rahul Srivastava?
Rajdeep, how can it be that there's economic distress in one state but not in the other?
No, there is, but in some states it results in election outcomes of a particular kind. In others it may not. That's the difference. Maharashtra, industrialized state, again suffering in some parts from economic distress, but Fadnavis is seen to have provided possibly a relatively better government. Also, Rahul, remember, you compare governments, right? You compare what came before Fadnavis and what his government delivered. Also, the caste factor. I think Haryana is a state where caste is an extremely entrenched factor. So caste, when seen through the prism of economic distress, can become a small state where margins tend to be low. Lots of independents and rebels. We've got others in both these states, Rahul, and I think we're going to have to look at others very carefully.
Can I tell you, Rajdeep, that last night Devendra Fadnavis called a group of journalists, senior journalists, editors in Mumbai. They were already talking about cabinet formation. They were talking about what role Aditya Thackeray would play in the new government. They were talking about how they hope to run Maharashtra for the next 5 years. They're very certain. They're home and dry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Laddus are ready in the BJP office in Mumbai. So clearly,
Rajdeep, there's one more difference between Haryana and Maharashtra. In
Yes.
Haryana, the Congress did wake up and fight back. However late it may have been, 3 weeks or whatever, but it did fight back. In Maharashtra, we saw nothing on the ground.
That's
we
right.
saw very little.
And
There was
then-
vacuum at the top. There was disarray on the ground. So even if there is an anti-Fadnavis vote, who does it?
But I'm
go
not
to
sure
is
the
the
Congress
big
woke up and
question.
fought back. The Hoodas literally blackmailed, threatened and pushed the Congress into ensuring that they were declared in charge.
But
It's
you
not
know,
as if the
similar to Punjab,
Gandhi
so I think
family
it's
or
not
the High
neutral.
Command was desperate to do that.
there is no Huda equivalent also in Maharashtra today in the Congress. Someone who can even be called a sub-regional leader, who can at least go beyond even his own home constituency. The likes of Prithviraj Chavan and Ashok Chavan are first focused on winning their own seats so they become leader of the opposition. That's the limited scale of the ambitions that the opposition has had in Maharashtra. Even Sharad Pawar's goal is how to become opposition leader. Rahul Srivastav, good morning. Are you an early morning? Journalists are night owls, particularly reporters. How do you get up at 6 for a program at 6 in the morning?
See, usually the way is to not to sleep in the night.
I set my alarm for,
See, Rajdeep,
for
what is-
4:20. So that says it all.
What is very interesting that it's one of those elections where I found that in Haryana, the opposition seemed to have been down and out. But right since our exit poll on Haryana, what I can say is that the Congress has suddenly moved out of the boroughs. Very interestingly,
So the
in the
Congress
last
needs India today to move out of the boroughs.
See, Rajdeep,
I
they
mean,
were-
this is the grand old party. It needs us to tell them that Haryana is a fight before they finally wake up to a fight.
See, what it gave them some kind of an assurance that something is happening on the ground. And I can tell you, in the last 12 hours, both the sides have already thrown the nets out. They are talking to the independents and others who are probables who may win. I can
Are you
tell
telling
the
me
viewers.
that the reputation of My India Access has reached the point where two
See, I
political
think-
parties had to wait for India Today to
No,
tell
Rajdeep,
them
the
it could be a
BJP would have
hung
done it.
assembly
BJP
before
would
they
have done
move?
it any which way. The Congress somewhere felt that now is an opportunity. It's a possibility. What their assessment was. See, also, this is one state where the Congress and BJP are actually in a very tight contest with each other, in which the BJP does not have a Fadnavis-like chief minister. The agitation, when you said that it will be a kind of a test for what the government has been all about, Rajdeep, remember in India, corruption, economics and others don't work on their own. Till there is resentment on the ground for a political party among certain masses, this becomes a plus. And that is why in Haryana, economic distress and all will have become a factor because a large section, remember 50% means Jats, Muslims and Dalits are unhappy with the BJP.
Let's go across to some of our reporters joining us this morning. We've got Pankaj Upadhyay joining us from Mumbai, Anand Patel joins us from Kaithal, Kamaljeet Sandhu joins us from Chandigarh. Let's go across to Kamaljeet first. Hey guys, where's the smile? Everybody's looking so sleepy early in the morning. Let's see some smiles. It's a big election day. I know there's a bit of election fatigue after the big Lok Sabha elections, but this is a big day. We're all charged up and excited. Good, welcome, good morning. Now tell me, Kamaljeet, starting with you, what's it looking like in Chandigarh? Ever since India Today, Access My India put out that exit poll, I am told that everyone's talking just about this and very little else.
Well, absolutely, Rahul. Let me tell you, there was a lot of excitement about Haryana polls, but more so after the India Today Access polls. Now, we'll really have to see whether the Chief Minister's residence will really let us in and give that interview. We've already asked for a time there, but obviously the BJP camp seems to be upset about the numbers. So, obviously, it does seem that the JJP could be actually the kingmakers. But right outside the residence, we can actually try and show you It's all quiet out there. We've been here just before 5:30 and we could see there's hardly any movement. We've obviously asked them if they can actually let us in for a bit. But very clearly, the survey itself has infused a lot of vigor in Congress party. There is a lot of excitement towards it, but this could be a close call, and that is what the Axis poll is also showing. And clearly, both the sides are ready to take on, and obviously it's going to be a very tight fight as it seems like, but it could be the JJP which could have the final, and some of the big leaders could actually bite the dust, and that's what it seems like.
Where is Dushyant Chautala early this morning? Because all eyes are on him in a sense. Is he parked in his home base or is he in Chandigarh?
Well, all the leaders are back in their constituency, including Dushyant Chautala. So he's not here in Chandigarh. But obviously, they are the ones who will be the kingmakers. So obviously, from Hisar, he could move to either Delhi or Chandigarh. But they're keeping cards close to their chest. And obviously, each one of them in their own fold, including the Congress and the BJP, feel that they will be able to scrape through. But we'll really have to see for that.
Rajdeep, I want to tell you, I had Dushyant Chautala on my show last night. He said, whoever has the keychain, I will hold the key. He says, why are you calling me Kingmaker? You know, what makes you think that somebody else can't be king? So he's obviously imagining in his head a Karnataka-like scenario where Kumaraswamy with the fewest number of seats ended up becoming chief minister.
You know, it's an interesting story. His father is in jail. His grandfather is in jail. Dushyant wants to shed the legacy in a way of Chautala and embrace the legacy of Devilal. You know, he's called it the Jan-Nayak Janata Party for a particular reason. So I think he's an interesting character in Indian politics and how...
He's a good pace bowler. In the journalists versus MPs match, he's the one who's actually getting the ball across them the other side and with some speed uses his hulk and his bulk to get the ball across at some speed.
But this is his big day. This, you know, you never know. Indian politics throws out strange kinds of situations. But let's just go for a moment to Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai. Because Pankaj, you know, the general sense is Maharashtra is a done deal. But within the done deal, there are lots of subplots. There's the subplot of the BJP and the Shiv Sena. Is the mood very different in Mumbai today in the BJP and Shiv Sena camp? We are told laddus are already ready in the BJP camp. Is the Shiv Sena as enthusiastic about this election as the BJP is?
Good morning, Rajdeep. I'm stationed outside Matoshri in Bandra. Right now, there isn't much activity, but I'm sure in an hour or so, this place is going to be flooded with the Shiv Sainiks. As this is the main road in the junction, this is going to be a very hard place to report from. Already, you know, we've been told that this is the last place where we can report from. We aren't allowed to even peek inside, so that is the level of security that has been placed here. Unlike the BJP headquarters, where you rightly pointed out that the laddus have already been placed. BJP, as we have been reporting earlier as well, looks very positive. Their netas say they are very sure of getting the majority. As far as the Shiv Sainiks are concerned, yesterday our leaders were saying they are confident of crossing 100 and that the alliance is easily going to cross 200. But the Sainiks say that this time round there is the Aditya Thackeray factor, which has pumped in a new life energy. And the main reason why they say so is they say that for the past few months there was a lot of uncertainty because the bosses were not really able to take a decisive action whether the cadre should be going solo, whether it is fine to remain with the BJP or what else is going to be the future strategy. But now that Aditya Thackeray has come into the picture, they feel they have finally something to, you know, go after.
About what's likely to become bone of contention in the days and weeks to come, and that is this. Will Aditya Thackeray be taken in as Deputy Chief Minister? My understanding is that the BJP is not keen on taking Aditya Thackeray as Deputy Chief Minister because that would then make him virtually number 2 in the government and a possible successor, or if they go separately, he's kind of emerged as a man in his own right.
Which is why the numbers
they'd want him only as minister.
Which is why I presume the numbers will matter.
You know, would you agree,
Smriti, that if the BJP gets 120 plus on its own, then why do they need to accommodate the Shiv Sena beyond a point? Right? You can be part of our government, but you will get the ministries we tell you, you will do exactly as what we tell. So to that extent, is it important that the Shiv Sena also does very well? They also need that 100 plus or at least 80, 90 plus to at least have some say in the new government? Is that the subplot that's playing out?
Absolutely. This battle, this election is really a kind of existential battle for the Shiv Sena for two reasons. The BJP may or may not have a view on Aditya Thackeray being in the government, but Mr. Fadnavis certainly does not want him, never mind what statements he's made publicly so far. The thing is, the second point is that the BJP's vote share has been steadily increasing, and it galloped in 2014 to about 28% 5 years ago. The Shiv Sena, on the other hand, for the last 20 years, has stayed stable at around 16, 17, 19%. They haven't increased, never mind what seats. So really, this time, are they going to cross 20%? Are they going to have enough leverage on their own to be able to demand something from the BJP or not? I think for the Shiv Sena, this election is going to be critical, because the election after this is the BMC election 2 years from now, 3 years from now. And the BJP is moving in to capture the BMC. And you know very well that if you have the BMC with you, you have virtually all of Bombay with you. So that's the game plan. This is really a life and death
2
plan.
points to supplement that. I think given the fact that Mr. Fadnavis had such an important role within his party to neutralize all his opponents in the party, would he really agree to a situation where you have a new rival coming up when you have already neutralized the rivals in your own party? And number two, for the Shiv Sena, which already always projected Aditya Thackeray as their future chief minister, would they be willing to concede a step lower and say, okay, not chief minister, but deputy chief minister? I think from both the sides there are challenges.
No, I think what Rahul says makes sense to me. Why should the BJP, if it dominates this election, concede anything to anyone? And I think there is a possible pointer to what you will see in the other big election of 2020, which is Bihar. The BJP is very clear now. Elections are being won on the lotus symbol. Elections are being won on the name of Narendra Modi. Elections are being won, at least in Maharashtra, in the name of Narendra and Devendra. Why should we concede to an ally? And they could well say the same to Nitish Kumar. They are already seeing signs of that.
They've already made that clear. They've announced, Amit Shah has announced that the Bihar elections will be fought under the leadership of Nitish Kumar. So that question is out of the way for the time being.
Please understand, it all depends on what happens in the next 12 months. If the BJP continues to win elections after elections by big margins, there is no reason why the BJP will not want the chief minister of choice.
I'll tell you why, Rajdeep, because they also don't want the opposition to spring back to life. The moment you allow for the Shiv Sena to fight separately or for the JDU to fight separately, it potentially creates the possibility of the opposition in one way or the other bouncing back to life. The BJP at the highest level realizes that nature abhors a vacuum. At some point in time, some formation will come up. They're saying, "Abhi mare pade, gire pade, inko rehne do aise."
My sense, I don't know. I think they will play each state as it comes and look at the situation before each state. But go ahead. Yes.
Rajdeep, what I will say is that we were discussing it, that the BJP's attempt to create a hegemony. But these two, Modi-Shah duo, are Gujaratis. They know their business. And till the time they realize that they are in a position, see, in politics in the coming days, not just elections are going to happen. Remember, there is going to be a forward movement even on temple. So BJP's politics on the ground is going to change. But as Javed is saying, that BJP has made it clear, in Bihar and in Maharashtra, there are few things that the BJP realizes that it still needs to do. And that is why it will play with a certain degree of caution. I don't think BJP is dumping Shiv Sena in a hurry.
Look at what they did in Maharashtra. You're saying public pronouncement on Nitish Kumar. In Maharashtra, public pronouncement was made. We will give 50% seats to Shiv Sena. What happened in the end? They kept the Sena waiting till the last moment and eventually gave them far fewer seats. Please understand, they may be Gujarati businessmen who are looking at a balance sheet. But if the balance sheet is heavily in my favor, I'm going to have a joint partnership deal entirely on my terms.
No, that's not correct.
in
Bihar, they conceded more seats to allies than they needed to.
Because remember what was the stage, Rahul? Between December and February, before Balakot happened, the BJP felt they needed the JDU. The JDU was trying to reach out to the other side. Even the likes of Ram Vilas Paswan got 6 Lok Sabha and 1 Rajya Sabha. I think, depending on how elections go, That's why I think Haryana is important. I think Delhi is important. If the BJP sweeps every state, there are some polls today which are giving the BJP 70 seats in Haryana. Let's assume the BJP also wins Delhi. Let's assume that the Mandir forward movement takes place. We don't know which way once you're a hegemon, you will try and swallow everything that comes around you.
Yeah,
the
but
BJP will say one thing today.
They're being more practical negotiators than the Congress is even at this time.
Yeah.
I still await. I reserve
In
my
Bihar,
judgment
things are
on
not
that.
right for the BJP.
I
still.
tend to agree with Rahul. The BJP is much better at keeping its allies together, even if it means conceding a bit of extra ground than it is due. They've done it. They'd be absolutely daft to actually dump Nitish Kumar or try and...
I'm not saying dump.
Allow me to complete.
I'm not saying dump.
You didn't, I am. So allow me to complete, Rajdeep. They will... early morning we are fighting. So they won't, even in Haryana, it will, in Maharashtra, everything will be contingent upon the numbers, depending. Conventionally, no political party, no chief minister wants somebody breathing down his neck. Nobody wants a deputy chief minister. No prime minister wants a deputy prime minister. If their hand will be forced if the numbers...
Let me throw you a subplot in Maharashtra. The BJP is contesting 150 seats. What if the BJP wins 125? The BJP has 14 independents who are contesting. What if, on BJP symbol, what if 12 of them win? The BJP is close to a majority on its own. Once it's close to a majority and the Shiv Sena has only 60-70, what is to stop it sometime in the next 5 years from breaking the Shiv Sena if necessary and becoming the dominant party of Maharashtra? Completely, they don't then need to deal...
So I asked Amit Shah this question, Rajdeep.
No, today
I'm
talking of October 2020.
Which ally have they cannibalized? He said, that's not the way I do politics. I will do politics with the opposition parties. I will not cannibalize my own partners.
But he's just done that. The Shiv Sena issued a statement saying Narayan Rane should not be taken into the BJP at any time. What did the BJP do? Took Narayan Rane. The Shiv Sena at one stage...
Narayan Rane didn't come at that time from the Shiv Sena.
Now.
He didn't at that time come from the Shiv Sena.
15 days ago...
He wasn't in the Shiv... I'm saying, where have they cannibalized their own partner?
You are sending a message to your own partner so far and no further. I don't know if you agree. The sense I get, the BJP is waiting for the right time to strike to teach the Shiv Sena a lesson. That's my sense.
I would go with you, Rajdeep. I think, never mind what Mr. Amit Shah says, what's happening in Bombay on the ground is the Shiv Sena is wondering if they're going to be in one piece, if they're going to be strong enough until the next election
They could have done it if
around.
they wanted to. The BJP had enough electoral strength in this assembly election to have been able to go to the people of Maharashtra by themselves and have won the election.
No, I don't. You see, you see, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's not a done deal. Today, I am assuming, let's assume the BJP was contesting on its own in Maharashtra. I don't think we would be as confident here to say that there will be a majority. You see, so I think the BJP was careful to that extent, you're right. But I don't know, Smriti,
there is one other point. Rahul mentioned earlier about the opposition space. The Congress is nearly gone. They have the vote share. The Congress and the NCP have the vote share, but they just don't have the numbers. They don't have people on the ground. Who's going to occupy that? The Shiv Sena is a very comfortable, controllable opposition for the BJP in that sense. They are with you, but they've also occupied the opposition space as they have in the last 5 years. It's a very convenient arrangement.
No, I think Fadnavis has played it brilliantly. You see, what he's done in the assembly, if you look at all the issues raised, it was the Sena very often, which not so much in the assembly, but through the Samna, which would raise questions.
Can I make a point?
Question the Congress never did.
For me personally, there is no contradiction between the two positions that are being made. Both the positions are making the point that BJP is playing its politics very cautiously and carefully. And in the case of Maharashtra, I think they wanted one more election to consolidate themselves, minus the Shiv Sena. And I think the point you make, the next 5 years, how it progresses in terms of control over the polity will decide how they are going to treat their allies.
I am very clear, Sandeep, if the BJP wins elections after elections in the next 3-4 years, they will want to fight 2024 in Maharashtra on their own. They are not here to concede 120. If necessary, they'll give it even less.
I'm looking at 2022 BMC.
Where already they contested last time on their own.
Yes.
Where already they contested last time on their own. And it is a model that they've taken. They have not come here to do any favors to the Shiv Sena, and there's no personal chemistry
No, but
at
why
all.
should they? They're in it for themselves.
Absolutely.
No, why are you expecting the BJP to be bailing out its allies?
I'll tell you, and that's the difference between, to some extent, Maharashtra and Bihar. I don't think the BJP is in a position as yet in Bihar to take over Bihar. I believe they are on the verge, the cusp in Maharashtra of doing that. It's just a question of a last push. This is the semi-final election in a sense, I believe, before the final election, where they possibly say, up, forget Shiv Shahi, this is now about BJP Shahi. The BJP's flag will fly over Mantralay, not a joint BJP Shiv Sena flag, which is why I think this is, as Smriti put it, a key election for the Shiv Sena.
Okay.
The Shiv Sena must do well today to hold back the BJP.
But remember, in about 27 seats, there are people who've rebelled from the BJP who are standing largely against Shiv Sena candidates.
That's right. So therefore,
that's going to create problems. Okay, Rajdeep, we need to take a quick break.